Many pet owners give their animals monthly pills to protect them from the devastating parasite heartworm. Now, imagine that despite this, your beloved pet dies from the parasite because the pill has stopped being effective. Unfortunately, you've just encountered a resistant parasite. Now, I want you to try to put yourself in the shoes of a sheep producer who has just treated all of their animals for internal parasites, including Haemonchus contortus. But the next day they walk out to the field and they see a bunch of dead lambs. Resistant parasites, including Haemonchus contortus, cost the sheep industry hundreds of millions of dollars in losses annually and is the biggest threat to this industry. Haemonchus contortus is particularly bad because it feeds on the blood of sheep in their true stomach, and this leads to symptoms such as anemia and death. And one of the worst parts about it is that it has become resistant to all available treatments. This is where our lab comes in. We have been working to understand the immune response of St. Croix sheep to Haemonchus contortus because they are known to be resistant to this parasite. If we can understand the immune mechanisms of this sheep, then we can translate that to more susceptible breeds that are also more profitable, such as the Suffolk. So we are looking for ways to boost their immunity in an effective way. So how do we go about boosting immunity? Well, we thought about vaccines. And my hypothesis was that the St. Croix were producing antibody that were able to bind Haemonchus contortus proteins, while the Suffolk were not producing antibody that were binding much of anything. So to understand this experiment, I ran different Haemonchus contortus proteins down a gel, and I either used St. Croix antibody or Suffolk antibody. And the St. Croix antibody, on the left, we can see that they bound this one protein really well. We can see this in the dark spots at the bottom. But when we look over at the Suffolk in the same spot, there's no binding at all. So these St. Croix antibodies are binding this protein really well. So I selected this protein from a vaccine trial in which I vaccinated a group of Suffolk lambs and left other groups unvaccinated. But I gave them all a controlled infection of Haemonchus contortus. And while this vaccine trial is still going on, I hypothesized that the vaccinated group will have a lower level of infection compared to those unvaccinated groups. So if this vaccine works, it could help not only producers save animal lives, but be a breakthrough for our lab, WVU, and the sheep industry. Thank you.